Hello, everyone. Again, we're going to talk about asylum basic. What count as persecution under the U.S. immigration law? This is only for educational purposes. This is not legal advice. Again, my name is Bioti. I am an immigration consultant. I am part of Willa Law Academy, and I am a legal rebel. So let's get into it. So, what is asylum? The legal foundation. Most people think that if they have been in danger in their country, but automatically they can just apply for asylum. But that is not true. There is there are legal requirement you need to meet to be able to file for your asylum. You must demonstrate serious harm connected to a protected ground, and government inability to protect you. So there is protected ground. You need proof that you are being persecuted under those ground, and your government wherever you live at was not able to protect you. You cannot be in like, okay, you and your neighbors, you guys get off on the wrong feet, and then something happened between you guys, and all of a sudden you want to come to the United States and apply for asylum. It does not how it works. And there is a lot of people, they came here and they know they don't have nobody, they have no family to petition for them, and they be like, okay, I'm going to do asylum so I can get my green card and send out some frivolous documents. So today we're going to talk about the consequences of all of that. What is asylum? Asylum is protection for those who fear future persecution in their home country. So if you fear future persecution in your own country, like your life is in danger, asylum is for you. But there is a few benefits when you file for asylum, of course, in the United States. You'll be able to stay while your application is pending. When you send out your application this first day, depends where you send it. If you get the receipt, some state you can get your driver license. You'll be able to stay in the United States legally, and while the application is pending, you will also, after 150 days, after you send out your application, you can send out your work permit. After 180 days, they will grant you a work permit where you'll receive your social security and you'll be able to work legally. You will have your green card. You can have your green card if it's approved. After 1 year of your approval, you can get your green card. And after your green card, you will be able to apply. After 5 years, you'll be able to apply for your citizenship. And your family also could benefit from that. So this is a path to citizenship, guys. So let's talk about the ground that the five protected ground your asylum need to be under. We have first one. This is race. If you have been targeted based off your ethnic group or ethnic background, this is one of the five protected ground you could file your asylum under. If you're under religion, if you are being persecuted due to the faith of part of a membership, you could send out your asylum. Nationality, bias against nationality or tribal identity. It's just because of you from somewhere you've been persecuted, you can send your asylum. If you have a political opinion, you're a journalist, you're activist, or dissenter, you have been in danger just because of that, you can send your asylum. And there's those four, but there's the fifth one where people could get very people could get very creative. Let's say you're part of a group and in that specific group has been persecuted. Let's say you were part of the LGBT group. I know in Haiti, if you're part of the LGBT group, there's a movement, they call it Pasa Pasa, where they just like want to kill people that is part of this group, category. And I know it could be like that for other places. If you and they're also the bourgeoisie. If you're part of this particular group where you have money or you have a skin color, it's a little bit pale, and your hair is wavy, you have money, and they think your family have money, you could file for asylum under this category. This is the one that people get creative. Yes, you might not be on those four, but you just think about it. You'll be part of this of the fifth one. So, what is the definition of persecution? So, to do that, to know that you've been persecuted, you need to understand you need to understand the definition of persecution. We have serious physical harm, violence. You have torture or kidnapping. I remember there was a time in Haiti. Every week, you heard somebody get kidnapped, and then they asked for a good ransom of money. He was so caring that some young people were the one between themselves so they could get money from their family. So it was that bad. And there is severe sexual assault. If you've been if you get death threat and extreme abuse, unlawful imprisonment, repeated target harm, government abuse, complexity, severe discrimination. Normal crime affect everyone equal does not qualify for legal persecution. You need to establish the claim. Past persecution, you need to have evidence of previous harm. Let's say you got kidnapped, tortured, beating, created a perception of future danger. In many cases, you need to have well-founded fear, a reasonable fear of future harm. You do not need 100% certainty. Only the threat is real and connected to one of those grounds. Okay, you would never know if somebody really want to kill you, but if you give you the threat and you think it's real, that's it. That is enough. I know that in our community, there's a lot of people that get raped. It happens so often, so current for them. It's like, I get raped, and that person said, if I keep living this, they're gonna keep raping me and this and that. And I don't know if it just everybody get adjust to the situation, and I just like, wow, this is very bad. But the way they talk for them, it's like it's normal. Yeah, they just leave the country just so other people don't know, to find out about what happened to them while they are the victim. So yeah. And you need to, as a proof, you need to show your country condition. Sometimes your country, I was talking to my mother today and she said, oh, they raped somebody and it's bad. I was telling her that about somebody that got raped and it's bad. And she's like, oh, if that person really have kids, it's nothing. So I don't know why I'm talking about this. I have nothing to do. But you need to you need to show your country condition, paternal practice claim, focus on systematic attack against a specific group in your country. UN, State Department, Human Rights, News and Affidavit report. So you need to, if you could show proof the country condition through those, through the human right news or UN or State Department report, that will help. You could send that as a proof that your country it's really in trouble, and then it's really not for people to sit to live in. So today we also gonna talk about there is two type of asylum. We have affirmative asylum and we also have defensive asylum. Affirmative asylum is just like you came here legally to any other status of visa, and then you send your asylum to USCIS. Defensive asylum is the other end. When you're already placed on removal, you're going to defend your case in front of the judge. So this is the difference. It's the same form, the same. You need to write your statement. You need to have the I-589 form, fill out thoroughly. You need to have your statement details. You need to have evidence for both of them. But the affirmation you could send it out online, and the asylum you also can fill it online, but only your lawyer could fill it online for you. If you're doing it by yourself, as per you need to mail it in or bring it to the court by yourself. And I heard a judge says, and when you're filling a defense to the court, you need to have 5 copies. One for you to come to the court, one to stay at the house, one for you to bring to the court when you're coming, and 2 copies, one for the Department of Defense, the prosecutor, and one for the court itself. So, and then if you have affirmative asylum, all you have to do is send it online or send 1 copy to USCIS. And defensive asylum, you also need to see 3 pages so you could get your work permit after 180 days. So we're going to talk about sanctuary of the clock, 1 year. What is the 1 year? So when you come to the country, you need to send your asylum within 1 year. You cannot wait 3, 4 years, but oh, I was in my country, let me send my asylum. No, you need to send it 1 year when you come to this country. There's a filing deadline. Asylum must typically be filed within 1 year of entry, but there is a few exceptions. If there was a change of circumstance, I do consider the TPS that a lot of patient has, and then no longer has a change of circumstances, country shift, and extraordinary circumstances, health or legal. You could still send your application after the 1 year, but I heard it's not easy to win after the 1 year. Okay, there is the common pitfall, common risk and mistakes. There's a lot of people that send out fake history or contradiction. They ask somebody down the street to send my asylum for me, and that person writes something, they don't know what's in the story, and then when they have an interview, they contradict themselves. Because remember, when you send your asylum, after your work permit, you need to wait for your interview. So after the interview, they will decide if you get qualified for it or not. So if you go to an interview, you don't remember what was in your asylum statement, you contradict yourself, you will consider as frivolous, and when that do happen, you will it will be very hard for you to get any other benefits even though you've qualified for them, because you already mess with the government, you already lied to them. And we spoke about the missing deadline. It's like you're definitely ineligible for asylum. There is exception, but it's really hard to get after that. There is weak evidence. Everything that you says, you need to be able to prove it, or you have evidence. You write something from ChatGPT, you didn't really think it thoroughly. So it's the statement is one of the important part of the application. You have the first part, which is the application itself, the affidavit, and also the evidence. Very important. And we also have high risk of denial. If you have weak evidence or affidavit, there was a very big risk of denial. And copy and paste. There's people that does asylum, they do the same story for everybody. They just copy it, paste it. You will lose your credibility. You need to think it thoroughly. It's a process you need to take very seriously to do your thing. And now you need to pay $100 to send out your application, and you need to pay $100 every year. And I do see there's a lot of people they put in deportation for that because they were supposed to check their case every day, or they send out a letter. Okay, it's a penny when you need to file your application, you did not, then boom, they do place them on removal. So this is very serious. If you're an immigrant, make sure you have your login information where you need to check your application. Very important. So if you guys have any question, my name is Beauty, I'm an immigration consultant. So I'll be happy to answer any of your question or any of advice. Thank you very much. And of course, we're not going to leave without giving credit to the source of the images. We have www.vixit for the image, and we also ilc.gov for this image. So thank you very much. One more time.